All right, Coach Troy with Tate Fitness, and today I want to talk about a faster, revised version of the Anabolic Steroid Family Tree and its derivatives, composing of three different separate main parent compounds or parent hormones. Anyways, first thing would be choosing which compound would be most beneficial for the athlete's overall goal pertaining to the mechanisms of actions that they're actually seeking that's going to benefit them the best. So the first thing to note would be anabolic activity via androgen receptor activation, aromatization, 5-alpha reduction into dihydrotestosterone, and actual muscle size, strength, and accrual. The second thing would be, or the reason to pick a certain anabolic androgenic steroid and which family, would be antagonism of glucocorticoid receptors, leading to the inhibition of protein degradation or protein breakdown, basically for like recomp purposes. The third thing would be psychoactive effects on the brain, leading to more motor learning or motor recruitment for a stronger training vector or pre-workout training vector inertia. And then last but not least, it would be stimulation of erythropoietin levels, so elevation in red blood cell count or elevation of erythropoietin, in hopes for a better athletic performance. So when choosing which compound, the first thing to start would be testosterone. Testosterone is the parent hormone, which is actually the leading compound of all these derivatives. Everything kind of starts with testosterone, okay? But we're going to start talking about the testosterone family or the testosterone derivatives. So testosterone's number one. Second thing would be equipoise, which is boldenone. The third thing would be dianabol, which is methandrostenolone. And then you got halotestin, which is fluoxymesterone. And then you got turinabol, which is chloral-methyl dihydrotestosterone. Next on the list is DHT, which DHT is basically testosterone, testosterone converted via 5-alpha reduction into dihydrotestosterone, which is the most androgenic component of testosterone. It's basically the meat and potatoes of testosterone. It's the strongest unit of testosterone is DHT. But we'll talk about the DHT derivatives. So the first thing in DHT, or the DHT derivatives category, would be masteron. Masteron is drostanolone. Second thing would be primobolan, which is metenolone. The next thing on the list would be anavar, which is oxandrone. And then you have winstrol, which is stanozolol. Then you have anadrol, which is oxymethylone. Then you have DHB, which is dihydroboldenone, which is actually the enzymatic 5-alpha reduction of boldenone itself, or equipoise, reduced down to its steroid metabolism into DHB, which is dihydroboldenone. And some people think actually it has a category all on its own, but it's DHB, it's a DHT derivative. And then you got superdrol, which is methasterone, and proviron, which is mesterolone. Proviron's kind of like an anti-estrogen, but it still is a DHT derivative. Anyways, this is not for discussion on each drug and what it does, but which category it belongs in. And then last on the list is your nonderone derivatives, or 19-nortestosterone derivatives. 19-nortestosterone is nonderone, so it's kind of like, basically nonderone is the parent hormone of 19-nortestosterone. Basically the same thing in a sense. So anyways, the 19-nor derivatives, when you tweak a 19-nor derivative, scientifically speaking, tweaked by a organic chemist or a scientist, you come out with things like trenbolone, or tristolone, which is mint. Some least important anabolic androgenic steroids that's a derivative of 19-nortestosterone would be stranabol or Milivar, which is kind of unheard of in the bodybuilding category. But they're all taken to note, and they do serve some kind of efficacy in their own respected drug as far as their own characteristics on what they do. But basically, those are all three things that I just talked about in the three respective categories. You got your testosterone derivatives, you got your DHT derivatives, and your 19-nor testosterone derivatives, and all their selected compounds and respected compounds. And they're all high in its own efficacy, which caters towards the bodybuilding and powerlifting vicinity of things. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.